The Container Effects 2D Follow plugin is found within the built-ins in the Container Plugins and the Container Effects folder. And this plugin works on a topmost container, so you can see my scene here that I have a series of cubes inside of a topmost folder. And this Container Effects 2D Follow works in conjunction with the 2D ribbon. So if we come into our geometry plugins here and drag a 2D ribbon up into the scene tree, what we need to do is create a shape out of this 2D ribbon for our containers to follow. So what I'm going to do is just turn on our scripts enabled button here within our scene editor, so that way we can come over into our 2D ribbon, turn on the interactive mode, and just grab our handles here and start dragging these around. So we'll just loosely create a shape here for this container to follow, and then we can adjust it. Now to get this to work, we need to drag this as a subcontainer of the 2D ribbon. Now we can go in and grab the Container Effects 2D Follow plugin and drop this onto the container that holds our cubes. And when we do that, you can see the shift within the scene. Now we can come over into the Container Effects 2D Follow plugin and start to adjust the path position. And here, as you see, as we increase the path position here, that it's following the path of this ribbon that we laid out here. Now it's going to require some adjustments here on the scaling and such. So if we want to scale this down to see what's happening and or move it over, we can. We'll go back into the path position here, and here you can see the shape that it's following. So obviously we can go back into the 2D ribbon and adjust the settings in here. So for instance, if we want to close this curve, we'll come in here and close this curve. Now we'll go back into the Container Effects 2D Follow, and you can see that this thing now, as we adjust it up, it's going to loop around the curve as well. There's a couple other options within this Container Effects Follow. We have a position wrap interpolate, which is set to by default. We can come in here and hit clamp, and now as we adjust our path position, it's going to clamp to the ribbon. And there's also a repeat fashion, so as we adjust it now, it's just going to repeat around this 2D ribbon shape. So we'll keep going around, and you can see that it just repeats if it's set to repeat. There's also a kerning scale here, so we can kern these cubes out, or the space out between it. We can also adjust the scaling of the cubes within the Container Effects 2D Follow itself. There's an align button, which is on by default. If we turn it off and then adjust our path position, you can see how that no longer aligns or does align the cubes to the path. There's also a mirroring effect. Again, if you turn that on and we can adjust our path position, you can see the effect that it has on the path. And then we have a translation offset here, so we can offset the space of the cubes bit from that path. And then also we can adjust the rotation here as well. Now obviously you won't want to see the 2D ribbon, so you come over here and select the 2D ribbon, and then in this column here you can just come over and disable that 2D ribbon, which disables it but actually keeps the properties active, so that your Container Effects 2D Follow still will follow the path. What's more, if you wanted to come in here and keyframe this, the path position is what you would use, so you could set your keyframe starting at 0, set a keyframe there, adjust your path position up to wherever you need it. If it's on relative, it would be at 100%. If it's absolute, it would be more. And then you can just come in and set your keyframe again. Once you have your keyframes, you hit play, and now your containers follow that path that you set out for it.